Hey guys, it's Nicole Eaton with the Rock Your Soul book and podcast, where we talk about how to hack your mindset, grow your intuition, and live your best life. You can support this podcast by subscribing, leaving a positive review, and screenshot and sharing on social media. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Rock Your Soul podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Eaton, author of the book Rock Your Soul, the Down to Earth Guide to Mastering Your Mind, available on Amazon and Soul Therapist. And I'm back with another episode. I have been in this mode of creative energy, right? Of creating a new manifestation, a new life. We talked last week about soul aligned habits, and I'm on this trend where I just keep thinking about how do we really step out of our past and step into the future? How do we really let go of some vision we've had of ourselves, a situation we've been stuck in, a mentality or mindset we've been just marinating in or ruminating on, and really like level up into our next version of ourselves? And last week we talked about creating habits that feel intuitively good to you. If you did not catch that episode with Heather Mayo, make sure you go back and do that because it's freaking epic, as are all of our joint podcasts. And as always, guys, you can help me out by sharing this podcast. Share it with a friend, send it to somebody who needs it, post it on social media, tag me in it. I always appreciate all of the love and support in that way. But today I keep thinking about, okay, so our focus is in one of two places. Actually, I've been getting this message all week. I've been getting this message for the last 2 weeks when I meditate is there's love or there's fear. There's two options for how you're living your life. And I think there's love or there's fear. And I think what it comes down to also is if we're talking, are you in a state of love or are you in a state of fear? We're also talking of, are you in a state of focusing your energy on the past, on things that didn't work, on situations that failed, on careers that you lost, on whatever that is that did not work out? Or are you focusing on what is possible? And I was reading, guys, I should just be getting a regular check for this, but I'm not. I am recommending this book out of the genuine, like, I'm obsessed with it. I talk about it all the time. I'm not getting paid for this as much as I mention it. You would think I would. But Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza, it has taken me for a little ever to read this book because every time I read a page or two, it takes me a couple days to digest it. And what I was reading yesterday, hold on, I'm going to grab it. I am literally going to just read this to you verbatim. This is Becoming Supernatural, Joe Dispenza, page 224. If you understand that where you place your attention is where you place your energy, you know that the stronger the emotional reaction associated with the cause, the more you will consistently place all your attention on a person, thing, or problem in your external world. When you do this, you are giving quite a bit of your power away to someone or something. Now, all your attention and energy is anchored in this three-dimensional realm of the material, and your emotional state is causing you to continuously reaffirm your present reality. You can become emotionally attached to the reality that you really actually want to change. This mismanagement of your energy keeps you enslaved to the world of the knowns, trying to predict the future based on the past. What's more, when you're in a survival state, the unknown or the unpredictable is a scary place. So, for you to truly make changes in your life, you would have to step into the unknown. And if you don't, nothing ever really changes. So this got me thinking of how wild it is that we get attached to our known reality and how much energy and time we're feeding into the creation of what is already known, the creation of what we already have and what we already know we don't want. So how much time and energy are you spending in your life feeding into a situation, a person, a place, a thing that is something you don't actually want? Where is my energy going? Am I pouring a ton of energy into things that I hate, into things that don't bring me joy? Because the power is yours. And one of the things this book suggests that I've started doing is deciding what the future you looks like. And we talked a little bit about this in like the soul aligned habits episode of what does the highest version of me do? What does she look like? What does she act like? What does she do in her spare time? How does she dress? Actually, I was reading about a Halloween party where everybody dressed up as like a better version of themselves, of like who they would be, the future version of themselves. And I think that's such a fun thing to do. I know for me, like personally, I've been upgrading my wardrobe with pieces that I'm just in love with, or I know for a while, like I work from home, guys. I don't don't look cute every day. I have the capacity to. I'm like an optional hot person. Like I have the capacity to look cute, but sometimes I just wear yoga pants and put dry shampoo in, and that's fine. But that does make me feel a certain kind of way throughout the day, as opposed to being completely put together, having my hair and makeup done, having my, outfit on point. Who is the future version of you, and how much time are you spending in that energy versus how much are you spending in the past known energy? That's really all it breaks down to. I'm not saying you have to go and fake it till you make it, although that'd be rad if you chose to do that. But what I'm asking you to do is just to measure today as you go through your day. Are you spending time in who you desire to be, or are you spending time in who you already are that you're not thrilled about? I shared this on my Instagram, guys. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should. I mean, this is the shit I talk about, but so I'm on Instagram and okay, so yesterday I had a chiropractic appointment, and next door to the chiropractor is my favorite new restaurant. It's kind of like fast food. I don't know. It's called Super Chicks, and it's like if Chick-fil-A was on steroids, that would be Super Chicks. So I'm next door to this place. They have this buffalo ranch chicken sandwich that is like to die for, and these loaded cheese fries with like bacon and queso, and oh my god, they're so good. So I'm like driving home, and I had just talked about doing a 75 hard with my husband. And the 75 hard, if you're not familiar, is a very structured program of doing 2 workouts a day, one inside, one outside, reading 10 minutes a day in a personal development or personal growth book, drinking a ton of water, being on a specific diet, and no alcohol. So I just talked about, okay, I don't know if I can really commit to that with the holidays, but I do want to start to shape my life a little bit more in that direction. So I came up against this internal conflict. The instant gratification part of me wanted to go get the Buffalo Ranch chicken. I wanted that fucking chicken. It sounded so good. Those fries, cheese fries, yes, please, 100% of the time. But I was like, "No, you should drive your ass home. Like, drive home, Nicole. You don't need this. You have so much food. You just got a grocery order. Like, you're fine." So I started to drive home, and then it was like the instant gratification part of me is like, "Okay, well, what if just for today you did this? Like, what if just for today you just got that sandwich and you enjoyed it or whatever, and then tomorrow you could start over." And so I legit turn around to go back, and then I just pulled over in a parking lot. And I asked myself a really, really important question that we talked about in the Soul Aligned episode. I asked the question, is what you're about to do getting you closer to who you want to be? Is what you're about to do getting you closer to who you want to be? And the answer to that was no. Because the reality is that I'm not a big watch what you eat person. However, here's what I do know. I know that eating heavy foods like fried foods or fast food or anything like that makes me feel like shit every fucking time, religiously. I know that. I know that's the case. I know that eating fried food makes me feel heavy, it makes me feel sluggish, and it makes me feel tired. And the thing I know about who I want to be is that I love feeling energized. I fucking love it. That makes me feel most like me. When I have a ton of energy, I feel more like myself. So if my goal and who I desire to be has a ton of energy, then choosing Super Chick's awesomeness would not be the way to go. I would need to go the fuck home. So keeping this idea of who you want to be, and you have to really, like, again, think into that. What do they dress like? Who are they in the world? How do they move through the world? How do they hold themselves? Do they stand up a little straighter? Do they dress a little differently? Are they put together all the time? Are they wearing a certain brand or label? How do they interact with other people? Do they hold themselves with confidence? Do they approach people? Do they make eye contact? I want you to go through, what do they think about in a day? What do they eat in a day? How do they fuel their bodies? How do they fuel their minds? What do they spend the most time on? Because when you have a clear vision of this, then you have the option to use that question of, is what I'm about to do getting me closer or further away from who I desire to be? And that way you can use this mindfulness throughout your day of, okay, so I don't I don't think that will help me be the person I desire to be. I'm not getting closer to who I want to be. I'm not getting closer to an energized version of me. I'm not getting closer to a version of me that feels sexy and hot because I'm filling my body with cheese fries. Like, whatever that is for you, it allows you to have a basis. Like, one of the things I talk a lot about in manifestation is that when you start to, instead of looking at your external world and feeling like, man, this is lacking, or man, I don't like being treated this way, or instead of looking at your world through a victim lens, when you start manifesting what you know you want, it's so much easier to make decisions in your life throughout your day. If you have a filter based on what you desire. So if you're like in a job, right? And you're like, how do I want to feel in a job? Okay, in a job, I want to feel excited. I want to feel creative. I want to feel supported. I want to feel valued. Okay, so if I know this is what I want, and this goes for relationships, this goes for just your personal mood, this goes for your habits. If I know how I desire to feel in these situations, if I know how I want to be treated in these situations, then what's going to happen for you is this. When you get into a situation that is not that, it won't be like, oh, I don't know if I should stay. I don't know if I should stay. It will be, this does not work for what I desire. This is not anything like what I desire. And it creates a stronger decision within yourself. If you know what you want, then you're coming up against a decision that feels challenging or hard. It's not going to feel challenging or hard anymore. It's simply going to be like, no, this is not what I desire. This is very clearly, like, you will be able to pull the red flags from the situation a lot easier if you know what you want in the first place. So knowing what you want is a super fucking power when it comes to decision making. So if you've somebody who's felt indecisive, it's because you've become a victim to your universe. You don't know what you want. But when you start to shape what you want internally, you start to create mental filters that literally look for what you desire. And if anything is coming up that's not what you desire, it's like, oh, I don't want that. Oh, no, very clearly don't want that. That is not what I want. I know what I want because I've been practicing it. So this goes back to our first conversation. Like, where are you spending your time? Are you spending your time in the future? Are you spending the time in the past? Are you creating your day through your choices of who you desire to be? Or are you creating your day through that energy of the past? Every moment from here forward, you're creating your future. Every single moment. Your current circumstances are a result of your past beliefs, actions, and feelings. And that's it. And that's like my favorite part about working with people, guys. That's my favorite part, is to remind them that everything up until now is just a manifestation of your past. So to create a different future, you have to start thinking differently about your life. You have to start romanticizing it. You have to start enjoying moments. You have to start with gratitude, and you have to start with clarity about who you desire to be and what you desire to have. And like, that's the cool part about manifestation. And I'll say this 9 billion times over. If you've listened to this podcast, you know how I feel about this. If you're going to manifest anything, I love awesome brands. I love Louboutin shoes. I love these like luxury bags. Like, I love nice shit. I do. But if you're going to manifest anything, manifest how you feel every day of the week. Manifest how you show up. Manifest how you carry yourself. Manifest your confidence. Manifest those internal things, because I promise you, when you lock those in and you lock in a sense of self-worth that's just, when you lock that in, all the right things in your external world will gravitate towards you anyway. Like, you don't have to work super hard. You don't have to be like, ooh, how am I going to get that $1 million I'm manifesting? You don't need to do any of that. When you start to step into your power and you start to step into your trust in the universe, and you start to step into who you desire to be on a individual personal happiness level, all the right things flow to you. You don't have to chase, you attract. You attract all the right things, the situations, the people, the opportunities. It just shows up. So one of the ways that we can, again, create our future selves is by going through and just saying, okay, what does that look like? Another really freaking fun way that I've just been enjoying this is spending time in the design of your life. So I have a Pinterest board that is just, it is literally just aesthetic pictures of things that I love that bring me joy to look at. So it's like scenes from the Amalfi Coast. There's just scenes from Paris and like breakfast on the water, or like there's just all of these little things that are just so like romantic and dreamy, and it makes me happy to look at them. And I've also started incorporating this into what Joe Dispenza calls a mind movie. So I've done this through TikTok. I don't have this public, either of these, because they're personal to me and y'all don't need to be up in my shit. But um, I really just acquired things that I desire, or ways that I desire to feel, or pictures that represent that. So it's kind of like a vision board on steroids, because what it is it's a picture, collage, or video snippets, just things that make me really happy that I desire in my future. So that might look like, finishing this second book and getting it published, having a book tour. That might look like being in a happy mood, being on vacation. Like, so I've acquired pictures that are of me, and pictures that are just stock photos or other people's photos, videos that are of me when I'm like super happy and having a good time, and videos of people who are other people who are having a good time, who are doing things that I desire to do or desire to feel. So you set this in two ways, right? So you can do this on TikTok. You can acquire these videos and pictures, both of things that you are or have, or great moments in your life, things that make you very happy, things that just make you excited to look at. And you can set it to a song that just is like your power anthem. So anything that feels really, really good. I actually have it to French cafe music. Judge me. I don't care. I love, like, there's nothing like just more like sweet and romantic of just like the thought of being in Paris with a cup of coffee, looking at the Eiffel Tower, and just it just feels dreamy to me. So you can do it music that has words to it. You can do it to a song that feels empowering, or you can do it to just something that feels good. Just find something that feels good. You can also do, like, on TikTok, there's an option for a voiceover. So you can do a voiceover through just affirmations over top of these pictures and imagery. And then what you're going to do is you're going to watch this in the morning and at night. Whatever this little video that you've created, whatever imagery you've created, whatever Pinterest page you've created, you're going to watch it at least twice a day. Sometimes I'll just pull it up if I start to feel a little off. I'll just pull it up and watch it and be like, oh, yeah. So again, this is about how much time are you spending in your future? How much time are you spending creating your future? You're not only doing that by ingraining those thoughts of who you desire to be, so that your brain knows, oh, no, 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 this is certainly not it when it shows up. But you're also creating an opportunity for yourself to daydream, for yourself to spend time in your future energy, because that's where we really start to create and harness our energy, is when we're spending more and more time, not in the past knowns, but in the future possibilities. When you're going through a change in your life that feels challenging or hard, it's really important that you not focus on what you lost, but rather on what you're gaining. And you might have to get creative when you're first going through that. You might have to get creative. If you can focus on what you're gaining, that gives you the excitement to step into your future rather than to romanticize your past. And that's your power. This whole podcast, hopefully, the whole work I do, and what my intention is, just for anybody who interacts with me, is I want you to feel your power. I want you to feel like you're fucking unstoppable. I want you to feel so in sync with the world that you're just like, yes, I can have it all 100% of the time. Like, yes, this is for me. I got sparkling grape juice for the kids and put it in these mimosa glasses that are their crystal glasses. And I was like, is this wrong that I'm letting my children drink sparkling apple juice out of these glasses? They were like my aunts who passed away. They're very expensive. And I'm like, you know what? They need to get used, and they're so pretty and so much fun to use. So we drank out of these really nice glasses. And it's just funny because I think I would have like come up with a reason why we couldn't use those glasses, and why my kids specifically couldn't use those glasses any other time. But I feel like, again, I worked on manifesting a dream life and manifesting things that just feel good and exciting and aesthetically pleasing. And that makes me so happy. And so this is your sign. This is your sign that you start to create those soul aligned habits, but using the basis to create the soul aligned habits of who do I desire to be? What do they look like? What do they act like? What do they involve themselves in? What kind of activities do they do? Where do they have dinner? What kind of stuff do they make for dinner? What kind of foods do they eat? What kind of day-to-day experiences? What's their mood most commonly? Are they just pleasant to be around? Are they funny? Are they fun and exciting? Do they always try new things? What does that ideal version of you look like? Because it will start to shape everything. And spend time in that ideal version of yourself. Spend time romanticizing your life. Spend time loving those little moments. Spend time drinking your water out of wine glasses rather than a, water bottle. Spend more time being intentional about the experience you have on a day-to-day basis, because it is creating your future. Everything you do is either creating your past and more of it, or your future. So you might as well create a little mind movie for yourself, create a little romantic vision board, whatever that is for yourself. Spend more time in that. We're going to create something amazing. We've got a whole brand new year approaching, and it's our time to start the process of designing our lives rather than being victims to it. And we can only do that if we're intentional, and we can only do that if we choose. And if we start to create those mental filters that help us make those choices in a more succinct way. So I hope you make a mind movie. If you do and you want to share it, tag me in it. I would love that. Oh, guys, guess what? Okay, so we're bringing back Clarity Connects September 24th, 2022. So we are bringing back our 6th Clarity Connects event. So if you are somebody who is like, I really want to speak at this event, I would love to be a speaker at an event, and that's on your dream board, make sure you look out for our application process, probably starting in 2022, and save the date. Again, if you're not local and you want to come join us for this really like life-changing, motivational, high vibe event, please do. I would love that. Again, it will be in upstate New York, and it's going to be incredible. So if you want to speak at it, let me know and we will get you an application. If you just want to join, make sure you save the date, because it is going to be probably our best one yet. I have a really good feeling about all of the incredible things, the incredible space we acquired. I'm so, so grateful for all of that. And so make sure to link up with me on Instagram, NicoleEaton.xo, my website, NicoleEaton.com. TikTok, NicoleEaton.xo, and even on Facebook. Find my group, Rock Your Soul Community, at facebook.com/groups/Rock Your Soul Clarity. And I love you guys. I appreciate you all. I wish you well. Have a great week. Thank you so much for listening to the Rock Your Soul book and podcast. Take a moment to book a one-on-one session with me or purchase my trainings at NicoleEaton.com. Join the Rock Your Soul Facebook group or follow me on Instagram at NicoleEaton.xo. And if you loved this podcast, don't forget to share it. Thank you.